Hi, my name's Robert, and welcome to the video series where we are transforming my friend John's 1997 Volvo 850R. We're replacing the engine, converting it to a manual, and doing several other upgrades and modifications. Back at it. This should be the big day. Get this thing cranking and go racing. I believe all the wiring for the gauges and everything are done on the inside. We're ready to get under the hood. I guess we need to put the center console stuff together and continue with that. We are pretty much done on the inside. Got the shifter and boot and center console in place, ashtrays in, the steering collar back on. Those screws up there go to the under panel. We're going to leave the under panel open until we get finished with the test drive. And let's go out and start working on the stuff out there. I'm going to start on the back, work my way forward. We already have the exhaust connected. Need to put some bolts in that, one or two. Then I'm going to hook up the fuel lines. Then I'm going to hook up the coolant lines. Then I'm going to hook up the shifter cables and just keep coming forward. So I'm going to let down the back of the car and work on that stuff and then get it back up in the air, probably on ramps later to work on that exhaust. Chasing a couple holes because that RN intake manifold doesn't need that hole right there. I wasn't sure about this one, so I chased it anyway. All the accessories are in place and the new serpentine belt tensioner. New serpentine belt. We went with the P80 pump because it has a metal pulley instead of the plastic one that can break easy. The P2 transmission had P2 clips on it. You could use the P80 clips. You can also put a washer there, a washer on this side, and then cut half of this clip off like I'm doing here and then put that on there. For some reason this bearing is kind of loose in there. Maybe sanded that hole out a little too much, but we'll get it secure. Now there was a reason I didn't put this panel under here. I forgot to fuse these gauges. AEM wants all of their gauges with a 5 amp fuse on them, so we put that fuse holder in there and rewired all 3 of those powers to the run power to put a 5 amp fuse on them. Then again, let's go back out to the engine and do some more work out there. So far out here, we got the throttle cable connected, intake manifold on, the wire going to your idle air control valve, your throttle position sensor. Had to adjust this cable. It did not want to lay in here right. But I finally got it to go in there right, got it adjusted. We got the shift cables on. Really need washers on both sides of that shift cable bushing. Bushings came a little loose in this one. So next, we're going to tie down the O2 sensor wires. We put the heater core lines in. We took the old bypass valve vacuum off and the old wastegate actuator line off. We're going to put the good ones on there, and then we're going to hook up the hydraulic line and bleed this clutch system. We got to hook the hydraulic line up and put the bracket on it. Alright, so we're going to move this bracket, transfer it over to the new valve, and plug this stuff in. There's another bracket too that hooks on some of these. Sometimes I've seen these hooked in them. We're gonna go with this one and run it through there. We have more progress. We got the pad under the ECU. I think we already told you the serpentine belt was in. Power steering supply line is in. Power steering hoses are hooked up to the power steering pump. Got the coolant hose hooked up to the top of the radiator. The hose is hooked on to the coolant reservoir, secure and tighten. The rest of the hose on the power steering reservoir. We got all the coil packs in and all that stuff ready to roll. Got the heater hoses in, I think we mentioned that. We just put this top engine mount on, torque mount, getting ready to secure it. Of course, the wideband sensors in and throttle body intake stuff in the process of trying to bleed the clutch. And then we're gonna probably put a heat shield on in this lower radiator hose. All right, so we're having an issue with the shifter location hooked up to the cables. The shifter is more to the passenger side than we're accustomed to, not more to the driver's side. So, and it seems like if the cable was positioned back further, about an inch back this way, this linkage, that would be different. So I don't know if this linkage is different on the regular M56 transmissions or not, but at its current position, it leaves us with the shifter a little bit toward the passenger side. That'll do it for today. We'll pick up here tomorrow. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.